Hey guys, so this is kind of one for the shy girls. Um, and some of you guys who are shy but kind of won't admit it. I know I'm that way. Well, I'll admit I'm shy. I don't tend to be. I tend to pretend I'm not, which is kind of bad because I kind of over exaggerate that I'm not, so then I become this really loud, obnoxious person, and on the inside I'm like actually like shaking. Um, um, but um, I wanted to talk about this because my mom made me go to a social etiquette class in order to get over my shyness. And okay, um, the lady there was really nice. Uh, didn't call on me at all for the night. There was only a couple girls there. She didn't call on me, so I was like, "Oh yes, I'm safe." She hasn't called on me. Like I haven't had to answer anything. Woo! And then she made me shake her hand, which terrified me because I didn't want to get up. I was like shaking. Um, there was keep in mind there was no one there that I know. It's not like I went to a social etiquette class with my friends. No, it was literally like these three girls knew each other, and then a random girl like me who knows no one. Me, then these four girls who all know each other, but this one girl that knows them, they don't seem to like her very much. But quite frankly, she was quite loud. I was okay with her. She was in my ear, and I was like shaking, so it was kind of like ah. And I just want to share some points. Someone's coming up the stairs. Um, First of all, what like everyone knows this, body language is a big deal. Um, we all judge people, and we judge people on how they carry themselves. For instance, sluts go like this, and they just tug their shirt. I've got a shirt under this. They just tug their shirts down. um, Man whores tend to go in for like the butts, or they just flirt with like tons of girls, even though you know they have a girlfriend and they're holding this girl's hand. That's man horse. Like we just judge people. Not saying that all people who do either of those things are either of those things. Just that I mean, like all girls tug their shirt down. We just don't pull out our boobs. But I mean, usually we tug that up. Um, Sometimes they go like this. We're always judging people, and that's a big deal. Um, Sometimes, and she made this point where sitting up is actually, even though we won't admit it, it's actually a lot more comfortable. So if you just push your butt into the very back edge of the chair next to like this part, it'll force your back up and out. So like this. So now you've got like the little pretty arch in your back. 2 feet firmly on the ground means someone's comfortable with the situation. When people lean forward, they're inviting you into their conversation, but that doesn't really matter. That's not what I'm here to talk about. Not really body language. Just how to like kind of. There are certain things she said that made me realize things. One was when you shake someone's hand. That's like a big impression. We all kind of know that, like the firm grip. Actually, two girls there, they actually practiced their handshaking. I thought that was really funny. Um, okay, I can't do this with two different hands. Um, you always shake with your right hand, by the way, because the majority of the population is right-handed. Sorry, lefties, shake with your right hand. Which it always bothers me when people shake with their left hand. It's just like, are you like? I know righties who shake with their left hand. It's just like, are you stupid? Like, I understand if you're a lefty, because like that's the hand you like think like, oh, left. No, it's right. I'm sorry. Everything is made for this whole world is made for righties. But I mean, I know righties that shake with their left hand. It's just like you're stupid. Shake with your right hand, and this meets this. So those have to latch, and you have to squeeze. You don't want to like break someone's hand. That's impolite. You want to just squeeze. You know, it has to be nice and firm and squeeze and extend your arm. Plus, think of it this way: if you extend your arm, like I know what we do is like kind of like keep our arm here because we don't want to move it because we're kind of defensive. If you extend your arm, think about it this way: they're further away from you. That's what I was thinking actually, because she's like, you don't want to do this because it's defensive. And like I know I do that subconsciously, but then I realized like if you go like this, there's more space. they're not right up in your personal space because it's not. They can reach your hand now. So that's that. Um, the other thing that she said that helped me um, a lot was the whole eye contact thing. When I get nervous, I don't make eye contact. When you don't make eye contact, notice. Here's my thing. She didn't say this. But my thing is notice the judgments you make about other people when they do what they do, and then think to yourself. Don't be like paranoid that people are judging you. But I mean, like, go like, if you get mad when people don't look you in the eye, think about that. Like, so you're not looking this person in the eye. Cell phones are another thing. Turn them off when you're doing a YouTube video that's important to you, because some people just don't shut up. um, Another thing is, she said ignore your cell phone if you're doing like an interview or something. I wouldn't ignore it personally. I would say, could you hold on? Excuse me, I'm sorry, I thought I shut it off, and I would shut it off. I wouldn't text them back or like answer the call. I would shut it off. Because, excuse me, recently I did a, well, not recently, but I was in a play and someone's phone went off and they didn't answer it. And like, I'm glad you didn't answer it. However, if your phone is going to go off that loudly in the middle of the thing, in the middle of a play, when you've got dead people that have to sit still and ignore everything that anyone on stage in the audience is doing, it is impolite to leave that phone on. I know you're thinking like, oh, but I didn't want to, like I didn't want to disturb everyone else by the light we'd rather see the light than hear the noise, because the person delivering their lines now has to deliver over that noise. Just think about that, okay? No matter what, just think like it's to me it's more rude. Like, I think it's more rude to not shut the phone off than it is to ask, excuse me, may I please shut that off? I really do apologize. I thought I shut it off. And just shut it off and put it, don't look at the text message or who's calling. Just shut it off, put it in your bag or your pocket or whatever. So annoying. But there was something, recently I went to a party, for one of my we were close when we were growing up, and it was her sweet 16, and I knew almost no one there, and I was freaking out. My mom made me stay till cake, and I was just like crying because I didn't know anyone, and people were being mean to me. So a couple girls that I had known were being really nice to me. One girl that I had known was being really nice to me. Another girl that I had known was being a real bitch, and so here I'm gonna demonstrate in that area of space. I'm gonna turn on the backlight. This really cool thing that she showed us. Okay, so essentially, okay, I need to fix this a little bit because you have to sort of be able to see me. Okay, can you see the floor? Okay, the floor is more important than my face. Okay, so, okay, cool. These are my feet. Can you see? Got bright neon green. Okay, so basically, is if I'm talking to someone in a group at like a party, and I'm talking like over here. When you talk to people, even if they're in a group, you tend to keep your feet. And this is something else. When you're talking, you should consciously do this. If you're actually you should subconsciously you should do this. Is your feet will probably face in. So if I'm talking to you guys, so my feet are like this, like, kind of like, okay, cool. Oh yeah, that's not like me. Oh yeah. If someone's kind of like this and kind of like face and like I'm talking to you guys and I'm kind of like, oh yeah, and I'm kind of like sideways or like my foot is kind of like starting to turn out. Those are the easiest people to approach in a circle of people because they're the ones that are less interested in conversation. If you're starting to turn out, you're starting to walk away, you're starting to get kind of bored. I thought that was interesting. I never really thought about that. And that kind of helped me. I mean, I'm still probably not going to go to talk to people because I'm like scared of them all. But I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. And then the other thing was, uh, we read people really well. I do at least, and I know a lot of people who do. And this lady did too. She like read all of us. Like she had us give 2 words. Oh, excuse me. That's so horrible. Um, I had us give 2 words that described us based on what two words that we were 2 things that we were good at, or 2 words that described us that other people use, not just ourselves, or not necessarily ourselves at all. So I used poetic and musical because a lot of my friends say I have talent in both of those things. And she's like, "Oh, what instrument do you play?" And it struck me as odd because most people don't ask, honestly. At least me, most people don't ask, even if I don't know them, what instrument I play. They usually go, oh, like music, like singing and piano. That's what everyone thinks music is, or guitar, a lot of guitar. Um, and it's like, no, I play flute. She asked me what instrument I played, and I was like, flute. And she's like, do you sing? And I was like, well, like if I have to, but I really don't like, I don't like it. And she's like, I'm sure you're fine, but you don't seem like the person that wants to get up there in front of people and sing. No, I'm not at all. And I thought that was cool that she kind of figured that out just because I'm like antisocial. um, so that's what being shy is. That's kind of some tips that I learned yesterday about socializing with new people. I mean, I'm still not going to be the one to initiate conversation. It's easier for me if someone else initiates conversation with me. But once someone does, I'm polite and I answer, and I'll keep a conversation going. I just don't like to initiate it. Um, Another thing that I found interesting, it's a lot that I found interesting though. Oh, some people make comments. Apparently, this happened to her. Some people make comments to kind of see if you'll bite on them because some people are just naturally competitive. Don't bite. Doesn't matter. That's just who they are. They're not necessarily trying to be mean. It's just who they are. Um, don't answer your phone when you have friends over, or when you're over a friend's house, or when you're with someone, because that's just rude. Especially if you like go like, oh ha 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 ha, oh sorry, text message. Like, why? Why do you even have to do that? So yeah, that's about it. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I might talk some more about that because she gave a lot of cool tips. Also, I just want to say this before I go because it's dinner time. If you're into like interviews and stuff, and you want to do interviews or news or whatever, it's more friendly when you open yourself up and kind of lean forward. Because think about it, when you're interested in something, you kind of like lean forward, like, oh my gosh, really? That's so cool. Like, so kind of lean forward. I'm gonna move this back because I'm kind of like putting my boobs in your face, but it's like, oh, really cool, and it makes people feel more comfortable. Unless you're like over their shoulder and it's just like, oh, God, too close. In which case, don't do that. So that's really it. I just wanted to say all that because it was kind of important. So yeah. Um, Comment, subscribe. I kind of want to start doing. I don't have many subscribers. Well, I have enough. I love you all so much. But okay, hold on. So that's all I wanted to say. I hope you all take some advice. And being shy is not a big deal. Um, but the problem is people that aren't shy sometimes take that the wrong way. And my mom brought my attention to that because I realized a lot of people don't like me, and my mom was like, you don't talk to them. You don't even make an effort to when they talk to you. And she's like, I'm scared of them. And she's just like, if you made an effort, they would like you better just because you're making an effort. Like, maybe they wouldn't like you as like a person, but they'd be like they wouldn't necessarily like you, but like as a best friend. But it's like if you make the effort to talk to someone, no matter how terrified you are, you can be shaken out of your skin. If someone goes like, hey, how's it going? What school do you go to, or something like that, so long as they're not like a crazy rapist, Um, like answer. Like if it's a kid your age and you're at like some sporting event, or I horseback ride, so it's a lot harder because like it's not a school team. So like if someone comes up to me at the barn, I used to like, oh my god, I don't want to talk to you. I'm scared of you. And I realized that's why a lot of the girls at the barn didn't like me. Um, so these are all important tips, and I just want to share them. So sorry I kind of rambled, but love you. Bye.